You're a fucking loser.
You live in your mom's basement.
You probably have a 2-inch cock.
You sound like a white guy.
Congratulations.
For what?
You said you got a girlfriend.
You're probably a virgin.
So that's a no for Netflix and chill?
Fuck you.
So I'm curious. Tell me about your show. What do you talk about?
I talk about how women ain't shit.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's your man Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the 556th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. We are brought to you by Gorilla Mind Rush, the #1 non-habit forming energy and focus supplement on the market. Be hyper-productive and laser-focused for hours with zero crash and zero jitters. Support your productivity and the show by going to donovansharp.com/Gorilla Mind Rush to get your hands on a bottle or two. We are streaming live to YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, VK, and OK.ru. Restream is still having some technical difficulties with SharpStream. I could stream to SharpStream right now, but Restream is what allows me to stream to multiple platforms. So hopefully that gets resolved soon. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharp Reality Live a part of your daily routine. It is Tuesday, February 18th, 2020. It is good to have you guys in today. It is bowling night here at the Sharp family compound. I'm actually going to be moving up to a 16-pound ball. I ordered it on Sunday, and it should be in tonight. I'm not going to bowl with it tonight because I need to get my bearings with it. But I think the extra weight should increase my scoring average. I think I'm averaging like a 174, 175 right now. And my goal is to average in the 190s by the end of this year, and by the end of next year, I want to be averaging in the 200s. I've thrown a 15-pound ball for a while, and it's quite easy because I'm a big, strong guy. So there's really no reason I can't fling a 16-pounder with the same ease that I do with a 15-pounder. Should give me a lot more force, more pin action, and higher scores. But enough of my pointless drivel about shit you don't care about. Let's get right to it. Loyalty is a word a lot of men tend to throw around when talking about what they want in a significant other. Our first priority, of course, is sexual attraction. And numbers 2 through 5 are generally, honesty, obedience, a kind disposition, and loyalty. Yes, there are different men who have different requirements, but by and large, these are things that men want in a woman if he's going to decide to pursue her for a long-term relationship. But something I've actually noticed lately, it's really kind of shocked me when it comes to the requirements that women say they want in a man. Now, we all know that women have grossly unrealistic expectations and requirements, right? They want the guy with the 7-figure bank account, 6-pack abs, 5 cars, 4 houses, 3 vacations home, a 2-foot dick, and a partridge in a pear tree. And then they want all of that wrapped in a 6'3" package with perfect teeth, movie star looks, who's kind and funny, gentle, smart, a genius, a bad boy, who loves his mother, hates men, loves rom-coms, hates sports, and loves her more than life itself. Now, this mythical man doesn't exist, but a few in this world come rather close. But when women actually do get what they believe is the perfect guy, the one thing they don't require of him is loyalty. And the reason for that is because women know that the top 20% of men who check off all the boxes will have women throwing themselves at them left and right. Wives of professional athletes know that their husbands they're smashing ass day in and day out when they're out on the road. But the wives understand that loyalty is not a characteristic that they're going to get from their professional athletic husbands. Loyalty isn't even something they want. They need constant validation that the man they've chosen is sexually attractive and wanted by other women. And even though they're always hurt when they learn about their husbands or boyfriends philandering, deep down inside it turns them on because they think to themselves, okay, he's still attractive to other women. I've made the right choice. Now, women can say whatever they want, but they do not want nor do they need loyalty. I'm going to say that again. Women do not want nor do they need loyalty, sexual loyalty from a man. Now, they will attempt to shame men for not being loyal, not being sexually loyal, just like they shamed Michael Schiavo back in 2005 for having the audacity to date another woman, even though his wife, Terry Schiavo, had been a vegetable since 1990. I was living in Florida when all this happened. It happened in Pinellas Park, Florida. I was actually living in St. Petersburg at the time right down the road from Pinellas Park, Florida. I was there when that happened. I heard about the saga every day. The world tells men that even if your wife is brain dead for a decade and a half, it is wrong to have your needs met with another woman because that is disloyal. It's not loyal. Yet, when a wife divorces her husband who's stricken with cancer, they're met with praise and adulation. Then turn around and bash John Edwards, for banging Rael Hunter while his wife Elizabeth had cancer. Now, as a side note, that whole scandal cost Edwards a chance to make a serious run for president. And yes, again, I was living in North Carolina when this happened and as well. And for the record, he would not have been nominated. Barack Obama was a full-fledged movement at that point. Nothing was going to stop him, not even John Edwards. Anyway, women say they want loyalty and they say they need loyalty. But things are so ass backwards in today's relationships that loyalty is actually punished. Here in 2020, guys, the more sexually loyal a man is to a woman, the less sexually loyal she is to him. Yes, this is fucked up. But this is what feminism has done to the sexual marketplace. It's turned the sexual market into fucking bizarro world. Up means down, left means peanut butter. A couple of days ago, I had a caller who had come into $500,000 because of a real estate deal that he had just brokered. Now, to that point, he'd been living with his girlfriend, and when he learned that he'd come into this substantial amount of money, he decided he didn't want to live with her anymore. Nothing out of the ordinary there because, of course, women in his position would have done the exact same thing. But the reason he called me is because he wanted to give her $30,000 to $40,000 as a thank you for what he characterized as allowing him to stay with her when he wasn't doing so well financially. He wanted to show her some loyalty and pay her back for paying most of the bills while he lived there. I advised him to do no such thing because if the situation were reversed, she wouldn't even think about it. Take a look and listen. If the situation were reversed, let's just say that you made more money than she did and she moved in with you, right? Let's just say that she didn't really have much money. You paid most of the bills, all the bills, whatever the case may be. And she came into $500,000 and decided that she didn't want to live with you anymore. Do you think, caller, knowing what you know about women now, do you believe that she would feel obligated to give you $30,000 to $40,000? Yes or no?
Oh, emphatically fucking no.
Exactly. Right? She would absolutely be right. She doesn't owe you a goddamn thing. You didn't beg her to come live with you. You didn't beg her to pay the bills. You did this of your own free will and volition. This was your choice. Again, we're talking about the roles that were reversed here. I'm going to give you another example. When a girl goes out on a date with a guy and he buys her dinner, buys her expensive drinks, buys her dinner, right? What do women always say? They always say, well, just because you buy me dinner does not oblige me to sleep with you. This is what women say. Just because I go out on a date with you doesn't mean I owe you anything. Here's the problem, caller. Men have been helping out women for 60 years, and we've got nothing but a big fuck you, right? We buy a woman, we buy a woman gifts, we buy her this and that and the other, and then she dumps us. We say, well, wait a minute. I bought you a car. I bought you a house. I did this for you. I took care of your kid. You know what she's going to say? You didn't have to do that. I didn't put a gun to your head. You gave to me of your own free will and volition. I don't owe you anything because you gave this stuff to me. That's what she's going to say, right? Get her a little $20 gift, maybe a thank you card, whatever the case may be. But do not give her anything. Anything over two figures. Do not give that broad $30,000 to $40,000 because I am 200% sure that she would not do the same for you if she were in your shoes. I promise you. Gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, women have absolutely no loyalty. They have no sense of fairness. They have no sense of justice. They have very little morality. Now, part of the reason for this is for survival. Women are, in fact, the physically smaller and physically weaker sex. And for that reason, their biological hard drives do not allow them to be loyal to anything but themselves. Listen, I say this all the time. If I were to become weak, physically weak, if I lost a bunch of weight, if I was frail, I lost my drive to succeed, I couldn't show if I lost my ability to physically and financially protect Dev, guys, guess what? She's not loyal to Donovan Sharp. She's loyal to the benefits of being with Donovan Sharp. Guys say all the time, I want a woman who loves me for who I am. It's going to be a long wait because women never love you for who you are. They love you, in fact, for what you are. The moment you cease to become what you are, your woman does not love you anymore. This is simple math. This is how it works. Now, men, on the other hand, we have an incredible sense of fairness. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. If you help me out, I'll help you out, and vice versa. Men are fiercely loyal, oftentimes to a fault. And a lot of times it gets us into trouble. Michael Vick comes to mind. He was loyal to his longtime friend, Quantus Phillips. Knew the kid since middle school. But Quantus Phillips became a bad influence on Vic, and only after Vic served nearly 2 years in prison did he finally sever ties with Quantus, and his life's been on the straight and narrow ever since. We hear stories every day about men who are loyal to women who end up getting burned because they never realize that just because you're loyal to a female does not mean that she is going to be loyal to us. It takes a while to figure this out, but eventually we do. Now, some men take a little longer than others to figure this out, and some never figure it out. Which brings me to today's Reddit post, and a big thanks goes out to Pimped Out Geese for this one, because guys, this one is cringe worthy. Buckle up, gentlemen. There's going to be a lot of face palms. There's going to be a lot of shaking heads with this one. So the Reddit post is entitled, I fucked up and now I'm friend zoned / provider zoned and I don't know what to do. Now, it was submitted by a 32-year-old man whose Reddit handle is The Frustrated Provider. My guess is that this is probably his first post. Now, Frustrated Provider is still in love with a woman he's known since he was 15 years old. They were high school sweethearts when they were teenagers, but fast forward now 12 years, and today she is a post-wall single mother at 30 with 2 children. Even though this woman is well past her prime and has held, and really has had the children of at least one other man, this dude still capes up for this chick. So let's break this bad boy down and see what we got going on here. He says, quote, my first girlfriend 14 years ago messaged me on Bumble last January. We immediately hit it off as if we never broke up. I quickly realized I felt the same way for her as I did when I was 18. We were together for 2 years, but known each other since I was 15 and her 13. Pardon me. She told me she also felt the same way for me and was the first to say, I love you. A month into reuniting, we were seeing each other constantly and spending whole weekends at my house, fucking at least a few weekends a month. I wanted a relationship, but she said she wasn't ready. I am 32 years old. I'm 32 years old, single guy. I guess that's a typo on his part. I copy and pasted this. No kids, living alone. She's 30 with 2 kids and lives with her kids. Guys, we see this all the time, right? Boy meets girl. They date as teenagers, but when she hits her 20s, she starts sleeping around. He dates too, but he still carries a torch for his high school sweetheart. She pops out a couple of kids out of wedlock, and when she hits her 30s, she reaches back out to him, and sure enough, he goes running back. We see this all the time, guys. The sad thing about this scenario is that men are more aware of this dating arc than they've ever been before. Red pill aware or not, men know that women sport fuck their way through their 20s, have a kid or two with Dave the unemployed garage band guitar player who may or may not be fucking her best friend and her mother, and when she hits the wall at 30, they go running back to the men they rejected when they were, when they were in their prime fertile years. Now, these loyal guys are rewarded with a used up female who still acts as though she's a hot 18-year-old with endless options. Let's see what let's see what happens in their little reunion here. 6 months in, he continues, she gets mad at me for something minor. In parenthesis, he says, she said I was acting like an asshole and was in a bad mood often. I lost my place. Oh, and she ghosts me. 3 depressing months later. Let me say this again. 3 depressing months later, after she ghosted on him, I reach out to her and we work it out. Since then, we've gotten along real well and have gotten even closer in some ways. The thing is, he continues, since ghosting on me, she's been much less effective. We haven't had sex besides one time she gave me head several months ago. Now she won't come over at all. I asked her about this and she said she no longer wants casual sex and that she also doesn't want a relationship. We still kiss and make out, but doesn't go further. I was clear about my intentions that I want to be with her. She told me she appreciated me, loves me, but that right now she's not ready yet. Ay. Guys, this is the point. This is the point where most men are clueless about what's really happening in these kinds of situations. So let me translate this for men who reach this point, who have reached this point and are a little confused about what's happening here, okay? She gets, quote, mad at him for something minor and ghosts on her. Translation, she started fucking somebody else and needed a reason to ghost him. Then he says, 3 depressing months later, I reach out to her and we work it out. Translation, she wanted to be in a relationship with Chris, the cocaine dealer who just got out of prison for possession with intent to distribute, fucked him for 3 months before she realized that she was a side chick because Chris had a girlfriend. So when this guy, frustrated provider, reached out, she grabbed that olive branch. Then he says, we haven't had sex. She no longer wants casual sex and doesn't want a relationship. Translation, she doesn't want him. She's not aroused by him anymore. She wants nothing to do with him. Then he says, we still kiss and make out, but she doesn't come over anymore. She told me she loves and appreciates me, but right now she's not ready. Translation, she's using him for all of his non-sexual attention while trying to reconcile with Kevin. Dude, the writing's on the wall. She said she doesn't want sex and doesn't want a relationship, but this idiot is still confused as to what's happening. She didn't even give him the whole, well, listen, I want a relationship before I have sex with you. She didn't even give him that line. Nope. She just told him, listen, I don't want relationship or sex. Let's continue. The thing is, he says, I have this feeling that she's just not wanting to take me serious. No, you don't say. As if she just sat down, right, doesn't want to be with me. I guess he was the typo there. I copy and pasted this. Want to be with me in that way now or later. I also feel, he says, that she is seeing someone else. I'm not sure why I feel this way, but I do, and I can't shake it. Guys, get ready to cringe. Oh my God, get ready to cringe. On Valentine's Day, I took time off from work during the day, took her out, gave her a bunch of flowers and a necklace. Since then, he says, I've barely even heard from her besides 1 or 2 worded texts and will quit responding mid-conversation. Funny thing is, she said she couldn't go out for the evening because of the kids, but that day she texts me later on saying she's out to dinner with a friend and then didn't hear from her again for a day. It feels like I put a lot of effort to see her and she doesn't see it at all. Of course she doesn't see the effort you put in. Frustrated provider male, whatever your name is. Women rarely do. I had a consultation client of mine who was dating a woman, and he helped her start a business. For her. Okay? This guy invested thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours just to get this thing off the ground. Not only did she not want to be around him at night because she was stressed out, this bitch had the gall to say to him in an argument, well, what do you think you're worth to the company that you started for me is? 10, 15 bucks an hour? The more you do for women, the less they see the effort. Again, this is ass backwards and fucked up, but guys, this is 2020. This is what we're up against. You can either adjust or you can get got. And then he says, I think she might be seeing someone else. Yeah, you think? Here's what happened in this little Valentine's Day thing. This is essentially what happened. She let him pick her up in a limo, take her to the prom, poured her some punch, danced with her all night, made her feel great, took a cute little prom picture with her. Then she told him to drop her off at the hotel to get a train ran on her by Kevin, Dave, and Chris. Gentlemen, it is beyond me that dudes bury their heads in the sand when the truth is staring them right in the face.
Well, I took her out and gave her flowers and a necklace, but she wasn't at dinner with a friend and didn't call or text for a day and a half.
Dude, red pill aware or not, dudes like this deserve to get used, man. Let's continue. Guys, it's again, this is about to get really, really real. This is unbelievable. Listen to this shit. He continues, last Christmas, she calls me crying because she couldn't buy her kids gifts for Christmas. I was heartbroken for her, so I let her borrow $500. She's also having a hard time paying for rent and was behind 2 months and was getting threatened to be evicted. Being the provider that I am, I said, don't worry. I'll let you borrow the money, and gave her another $1,500. The other day, he continues, she couldn't pay for a car rental after totaling her car. I let her borrow another $200. She said she would pay me back the $200 the same day after getting paid, and never did. Since she totaled her car, she's getting a check for a new car, and said that she would pay me when she got it. That was a month ago. You guys starting to see a pattern here? Initially, she said that she would pay me back, and I haven't heard anything about it since. She just quit her job last week, so now she, I guess he meant to put, won't have any income for some time. Honestly, he continues, it sucks to lose that much money, but I don't even care about the money. What? If we were together, he says, I would probably just let her have it. Oh my God. What I care about is being taken as a fool. I don't feel bad about helping her, he says. I would do it for anyone I love, but I also know I sure as fuck wouldn't be paying her rent if she is seeing someone else. Guys, I was actually in this very predicament myself, and I talked about it. Give me a second here. Hold on, guys. If the situation
You're a fucking
were
loser.
reversed.
You live in your mom's basement.
You probably have it.
All right, production issues there. And I talked about this very predicament at the 21 convention. Take a look and listen.
When I say the words, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife and Captain Save a Hoe, oh yeah, this is that story. I'm not going to get way into this, but I rented this woman a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I put the electricity in my name. I put the cable in my name. Oh yes, yes, shake your heads, guys. I used to be that guy. I paid for everything. What did she do? Well, she was fucking her ex-con baby daddy behind my back. That was the plan. Her sister told me the plan. Baby daddy was getting out of prison. She didn't have the credit or the money to get a place for them. That's where Donovan came in. And because I have a thing for Hispanic girls, I took the bait hook, line, and sinker. This woman took full advantage of me. And the way I found out about it was interesting. I went to jail for a week, and I could have bonded myself out rather easily. The only problem was I had just paid her rent, her cable, electricity. So I sat in jail for a week on account of a woman who was fucking somebody else. Let that sit for a while, guys. I'm in jail. Now, don't get me wrong, this was my fault. I'm not going to pretend that I'm innocent here. But I'm in jail for a week longer than I should have been because my money is tied up with this hoe. How did I find out, you ask? So the day I get out, she says, Donovan, I'm so glad you're out of jail. I'm glad too. Come over and spend the night. Oh, shit. I'm going to get to fuck this girl. Finally, Captain Save-A-Ho has found his Lois Lane. I get into her bed. This is how messy this girl was. I get into her bed, and I smell a man's cologne. She didn't even wash the sheets. What the fuck, man? So I jump up. I'm like, what the fuck? We're going back and forth. She says to me, Donovan, I don't think you should come over here anymore. She said this to me. The lease is in my name. I paid everything. You know what I said to her? I said, Carla, I respect your decision. I'm a man of my word. I will continue to pay the rent and the bills until you change your mind. Yeah. Yep. Now, of course, her sister told me a couple of days later what the real story was. Only then did I find my balls and just cut her off. But a little part of me wanted to keep paying just in case she were to come back around.
People always wonder how I'm able to so accurately dissect female behavior. Guys always say, Donovan, nobody breaks it down like you. Nobody does it like you. You understand the female mind and you break it down better than any psychiatrist ever could. Now, the reason for this is because I have been through just about every situation imaginable with women. Guys, I'm 42 years old. I've been in the game for decades. I've seen and experienced just about all of it. There's nothing special about me, guys. I'm not a sage. I'm not some wizard. I'm not some psychological savant. No, I'm just a dude who's had a lot of experience with women and recognized, finally, that they all operate with the same objectives in the same way. That's it. This guy, Frustrated Provider Male on Reddit, hasn't figured that out yet. Now, he's only 32, so it's not too late for him. But if this chick doesn't teach him that men should never commit anything to a single mother but his cock and balls, nothing will. Let's continue. I swear I'm not this much of a cuck beta provider, but this girl has my number, man. Since I was 15, I've been in love with her. Not even 12 years and a bad breakup changed it. Apparently, 12 years of bad breakup and 2 kids haven't changed it either. I never ever treated a girl the way I treat her. I don't know if I could ever just be friends. Before this, my life consisted of dating many different women. I still had trouble getting the prettier ones, but I wasn't lacking a sex life. I've considered dating, but I feel bad about it. So my questions are, he says, am I technically friend zoned right now? And if so, what do I do about it? Do you think maybe she lost sexual attraction to me? How can I improve my chances of being with her again? Should I ask if she's seeing other people? I know some people will say just give her an ultimatum and stop contacting her, but I don't think I can. I've gotten so attached to her, she's my best friend. Oh boy. I wish I could remove these feelings and just be friends, but if I were to, how do I approach getting her to pay me back the money? In the end, should I just eat the cost and take it as an expensive lesson in being a beta provider, or should I get more stern about it and if nothing works, taking it to court? Have I gone fucking crazy? He asks.
When I say the words, you can't turn a hoe.
There we go. So, I'm actually going to go back to something he talked about a little bit earlier, because this is definitely worth noting. Rollo Tomasi always says, women make rules for betas and they break rules for alphas. When she told him she couldn't go out at night because of her kids, but then she was out getting her brains fucked out by whoever decided to take her out for Valentine's night, that was a quintessential example of this in action, guys. When a girl says, I can't go out at night because of my kids, what she is really saying is that you're not sexually attractive, sexually arousing for enough for me to get a sitter for my kids and go out with you. That's what that means. Guys, I have fucked scores of single mothers. I've fucked scores of women with kids. And every time I call or text, they're somehow magically able to get a sitter in 15 minutes. This was one chick Brenda I was banging a while back. She's probably 37, 38 years old. Lived just outside of Vegas. I was in a little bit of a slump and I was like, you know what? Brenda's a little bit crazy, but she's really hot and she sucks a good dick. Brenda was definitely a MILF. Oh my God. Like the MILFs that you see in porn, Brenda looked exactly like that, but she was fucking neurotic. Like this bitch was fucking dude. She said she wanted to marry me, and dude, she went out and bought a it wasn't even a diamond. It was like a fake topaz ring, and she was telling everybody that I was like, whoa, what the fuck? But she could fuck and she could suck with the best of them. So when I hit a little bit of a slump, I gave her a call. Now Brenda had 3 children. They were, dude, she had 2 teenagers, and I think one was like 8 or 9. So she had her hands full. Dude, I'll never forget. I texted her, I don't know, 7:30, because I was trying to game this girl, and she kind of spun out of my orbit. My game wasn't tight enough. I was like, yo, come over tonight. She texted back 3 seconds later. Okay, I'm like, what about your kids? She texts me, don't worry about my kids. So she comes over. I fuck her for, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes, whatever the case may be. And she goes back. That's it. And I remember texting her like, dude, and I'm concerned about her kids, right? Like, listen, I'm an asshole. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about fucking single moms. I'm an asshole. But I'm like, yo, like, what happened with your kids? Did you get a sitter? Yeah, I got a sitter here. I was like, you got a sitter to your house in 3 minutes? Women make rules for betas, they break them for alphas. If a woman wants something badly enough, she will do what it takes to get it. This includes men. This includes attention. The reason she told frustrated beta male provider guy on Reddit that she can't go out at night because of her kids, she told him that because she was not turned on by him anymore. So let's go here. And guys, I'm about to open up the phone lines. I'm about to open up the phone lines and start taking phone calls on this. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear your experiences. I want to hear about the stories that you've heard of, similar to my story, similar to this guy's story. I'm going to have the, when I go to commercial break, I'm going to have the phone number. I'm going to have the phone number on the screen. But let's answer a few of his questions. Let me go back to the Reddit post here. Let me go back to the Reddit post. Okay, so his first question. Am I technically friend zone right now? And if so, what do I do about it? Wow, 994 people watching. Holy shit, man. I didn't even realize how many people are watching. God damn. All right, get these numbers up. Like the video, share the video, guys. Appreciate the support, man. We're cracking triple figures already. Excellent, good for you guys. Anyway, so his first question is, am I technically friend zone right now? And if so, what should I do about it? My man, you aren't technically friend zoned. You are 1000% friend zoned. Being friend zoned is like getting a tattoo. Once you get it, it doesn't come off, man. Listen, I have never heard of a girl putting a guy in the friend zone and then years later getting with him. Oh, actually, I have. 10 years, 46 pounds, and 4 years later. Guys, what dudes need to understand, there is no way out of the friend zone. And even if she decides that she wants to date you, it's not because she wants to. It's because she feels like she has to. So what does he do about being in the friend zone? I don't know. Wait around another 10, 15 years, and I guarantee you she'll be banging down your door. But by then, she's not gonna look anything like what she looks like now. His second question. Do you think maybe she lost sexual attraction to me? Yeah. Right? Like, and again, what tells us that this was sort of a long con by this woman. The only reason why they reconnected is because she probably just got out of a bad breakup with a guy that she probably really loved. Probably an alpha fucks, bad boy, blah, 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 blah. They reach out, they start fucking for a few weeks, he reaches back out to her again, all of a sudden now she ghosts on him. Of course she's lost sexual attraction for you. Dude, you're the beta male provider. Women do not respect men who give them gifts and money and all this other kind of stuff for literally nothing but the fact that they have a set of tits and a vagina. Guys, I see this all the time. Stop rewarding women for just being women. Dude, I can get ass anywhere. I can get pussy, I can get sex anywhere. What I can't get anywhere is a woman who can cook, a woman who obeys, a woman who is kind, a woman who isn't a bitch. These are the women that we need to consider for long-term relationships. These are the women that we need to reward with our resources and our time. And even then, she needs to do it for an extended period of time before I even think about going into my wallet. This weekend, I dropped something like $350 on Devin's hair, her nails, her tanning, and her hair. I already said her hair. She looks absolutely stunning. But guess what? She earned that. She has earned that. She has been loyal to me. Well, at least I would imagine she's been sexually loyal to me. She's been with me almost 3 years. Dude, she cooks for me. She never denies me sex. She always does what I tell her to do. She stays in pocket. Yeah, we hit bumps in the road, but the bumps in the road that we hit, they're not relationship threatening. Devin's a good woman to me as of right now. This is why I reward her. Stop rewarding women for just being women. Just because she's a woman and she shows up does not mean you give her money, gifts, dinners, etc. He also took her out for Valentine's Day. This girl's not, look, she's not even your girlfriend. What the fuck are you doing taking a woman who's not your girlfriend out for Valentine's Day? The guy that she was fucking Valentine's Night is probably laughing, eating the leftovers that you bought. Yeah, man, I don't know what the fuck's up with this guy. Probably wearing your necklace right now. The next question he asks is, how can I improve my chances of being with her again. Oh my God. Dude. This is the problem, man. This guy, and again, he said earlier that he dates around, right? He has trouble getting the pretty girls, but he has a regular sex life. So this guy is so used to banging ugly chicks that the one chick that looks halfway decent has been literally using him for money without sleeping with him, sleeping with other people, and he still wants to know how he can get back with a single mother who has proven time and again that she could not give less of a fuck about him. Unbelievable. No, there are no ways that you can improve your chances of getting with her again. His next question, should I ask if she's seeing other people? Oh my God. Dude, if you feel like you have to ask her if she's seeing other people, she's seeing other people. She said that she was out with a friend on Valentine's night. That's the dude that's fucking her. Then, of course, at the end, he says people will say just give her an ultimatum and stop contacting her, blah, 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 blah. Then here's the question of all questions. He says, in the end, should I just eat the cost and take it as an expensive lesson in being a beta provider? Or should I get more stern about it? And if nothing works, take it to court? Dude, no. No, man, listen, you can take her to court all you want to. You know what they're going to tell you? Do you know what they're going to tell you? She doesn't owe you anything. The money you gave her was a gift. You didn't have a written contract or anything like that. And she's going to argue, well, listen, you didn't have to let me borrow. You didn't have to give me the money. You told me. And it's your word against hers. She's going to tell the judge, well, he told me that he would give me the money for the rent. This is how these things work. So no, he's asking, should I eat the cost? Bruh, you are going to eat that cost whether you like it or not. Once you let a woman, dude, even to this day, I've never, ever, ever let Devin borrow any money. Like, no, it don't work that way. Bitch, if you want something, you buy it yourself, right? I will buy things for her that I want her to have. But dude, Devin never comes to me talking about, can I borrow money? No. Never, ever, ever let females borrow money, even if you are having sex with them. Gentlemen, it's always a mistake. It's always a mistake. So in the end, guys, this guy has been so obviously used and abused, and he took to Reddit to ask, hey guys, this girl has used me for my money. She's fucking other people. She has 2 kids. I can't believe it. I'm thinking about taking her to court. Is there any chance I can get back with her? Can you guys give me an advice on how to become more attractive to her? Is there any chance that we can reconcile and we can start having sex again? Instead of giving me head one time in 6 or 7 months? When we come back, I'm going to open up the phone lines so that you guys can give this dude some much needed advice. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're back in a flash. Guys, if you are looking for a supplement that gives you laser focus and a good, clean, controlled energy to get a lot done in a short period of time, Gorilla Mind Rush is the solution. I tried it for the very first time a few months back, and I've used it ever since. Just 3 tablets in the morning, and my mind and body work at peak operating efficiency. You guys know how crazy my schedule is. But with Gorilla Mind Rush, I'm able to prepare for my show, do my consultations, and then go lift weights for 2 hours. When I'm finished, I still have enough mental and physical energy left to continue kicking life's ass. Here's how it works, guys. 15 minutes after you take Gorilla Mind Rush, you start to notice a subtle change in your mindset. 15 minutes after that, you'll notice that you are much more focused, you are thinking more clearly, you'll be a little more energetic, and your motivation to be productive goes up. An hour in, you'll feel noticeably more focused and can concentrate even with distractions around. You'll feel less stressed and less anxious. After 90 minutes, you are in full Gorilla Mind Rush mode. Your focus, concentration, and your memory will be far beyond your normal state, and you will stay this way for at least 6 hours. And get this, guys, there is no crash. That's right, you get all the benefits of your mind being hyper-focused for a long period of time without the cliff when it wears off. Using other productivity supplements like modafinil is kind of like putting 10 gallons of gas in your tank and driving 400 miles. Now this is great. That's 40 mpg, which is awesome gas mileage. Most people would take 40 miles a gallon any day of the week, myself included. But with Gorilla Mind Rush, I'm able to drive 750 miles on the same 10 gallons of gas. That's the best way I can describe it, guys. That's how efficiently your mind works on Gorilla Mind Rush.
You get a lot done without burning through your mind's fuel so quickly that you run out of gas before your day is done. So rather than slowing down at mile 400 like you do with other compounds, you've still got plenty left in the tank to continue being productive with Gorilla Mind Rush. Another great thing about Gorilla Mind Rush is that it's non-habit forming. If you use it, you're Superman. If you don't, you're Clark Kent. There's no withdrawal if you do not take it. If you need this kind of focus, energy, and productivity while also supporting the show, go to donovansharp.com/Gorilla Mind Rush. I put the link in the chat, and you can also find it in the description.
Welcome back to the 556th edition of TSR Live, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Make sure you get your hands on my free ebook, 16 Ways to Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship. All you have to do is subscribe to my email list, and the book is yours. Like Bo Constrictor yesterday, this girl that he is pining over probably checks off, what do we say? She checked off 9 of those yesterday. This girl that he's chasing probably checks off at least 10 of those. Ay. DonovanSharp.com/newsletter. DonovanSharp.com/newsletter. And the book will be yours. Absolutely free. And I'm not going to blow up your inbox, guys. Don't worry about that. I'm not the guy that's gonna hit you with useless emails week after week. I only email when there's something important to email. If you're not the relationship type and you want to smash girls by the truckload, How to Master the Game will get you there. It's over 25 hours of rock solid game knowledge based on my own personal experience. This is based on my own personal experience with women over the 8+ years I spent in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is a very difficult dating market to crack if you do not have the tools to crack it. How to Master the Game is available in both audio and video formats. The link is in the description. It is also in the chat. I got the phone lines open now. Area code 973 and 540. I'm going to come to you guys in just a second. Let me shout out a few super chats here. State of Mike with the $2 super chat says, I'm now a supporter Donovan, hashtag Philly native. Appreciate that, State of Mike. Appreciate that. Ace and Spades with the $2 super chat says, here for the daily dosage. Morning, Professor Sharp. Appreciate that. NYKia 31 just became a member of TSR Towers, member of the channel. You can only chat. I can only see your chat if you are a member. I only allow members to chat. I don't allow trolls anymore. This is just something I've had to do. Zachariah Williams with a $2 super chat. He is just too far in denial. The problem is with him. Could not agree more. Osama Abdu with the $2 super chat says, my man D Sharp, always keeping it 100. NYKia 31 with another super chat. Another $2 super chat. She's my best friend, the classic last words. Yeah, right. Jesus Christ. Big Brandon is in the house. Head of TSR Security with the $2 super chat says, suddenly Seymour is this band's theme song, right? Juanito Main with the $2 super chat drops it in the jar. I appreciate the support. 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to get in on the conversation. Let us go to area code 973. Area code 973, you're on Live with Donovan. Give me your name and location.
Hey, Greg in New Jersey.
Hey, what's up, Greg in New Jersey? How you doing, man?
Good. Heard everything.
Oh,
and I got to say to this guy, yo, you should have, yesterday, you remember what I said yesterday about sympathy?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Simp-athy.
Oh, yeah. Sympathy. That's exactly what this shit is, man. I can't tell you this. But you know what? I was in the same boat 7 years ago. There was this girl that I was doing theater with. And I was the crew. She was an actress.
Oh,
you know, she's my mix. She's like, but and add Hispanic into that, and she was like, titties are fucking big, ass is fucking fat.
Wow.
You know, I was a beta at the time. I didn't know Donovan Sharp.
Sure.
I didn't know Donovan Sharp at that time, but I knew something was wrong each and every time I was doing something nice for her, and she was going for the alpha guys.
Yep.
7 years later, I come to find out, you know, oh, this is what she did. And I saw her not too long ago. I saw her at a ramen shop, and me, I'm a freelance guy. I do shows and shit like that. And she's working at a ramen shop. And bro, I can't tell you. I mean, she still looks good, but it's like the looks are fading. I'm like, I'm looking the other way. You know, like it's just it's not worth it, bro. Like, this girl who I used to fawn over in high school, 7 years later, I'm not doing that shit no more, because it's just like, I see what women are now. I understand them. I don't hate them. I love women, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to put myself in harm's way, or I'm not going to give up my financial thing. And one more thing before I go. Valentine's Day, I actually treated myself to some podcast gear, and I just got to get a mixer so I can get started on this shit, so I can start talking about this shit.
Excellent. Yeah, listen.
All right, but that's all I got, man.
Thanks for the call, Greg in New Jersey. Yeah, Greg is he's going to start his own podcast. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, listen, again, the guys who are, you guys have to understand, man, is you cannot trust men who have never been through this with women. If you get a guy who has movie star looks getting on and telling you have to do this and that with women, he doesn't know. He doesn't have to do anything with women. He's had all good experiences with women. For the rest of us, we have to know how to handle women. Shorthand for that, of course, is game. 914-205-5356 is the number to call to get in on the show. Area code 540. You're on Live with Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hey, Donovan, what's going on, man? This is Jay Thomas from Facebook. I'm a regular viewer.
Hey, what's up?
And I'm from Virginia. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing good.
Sure, man. As always, experience is the best teacher, because I've called into the show a couple times. You know my situation. You know, I was 28 years old, messing around with a woman who was 42, and she just got divorced and had 3 kids. Had a situation with her, fell out and everything. And see, the thing is, this is the hardest thing, is you want to do things that are good into your heart, but as soon as somebody senses that, then that's when they take advantage of you. Even if it's one of the girls I'm messing with now. This shit is so backwards, because it seems like this day and age, you do everything right, you get punished. You do everything wrong, you get rewarded. And then women have the sense, they have the gall to say, oh, well, a man's not entitled to a woman just because he does nice things for her, which is the truth. I'll go ahead and say it.
Sure.
But women seem to take advantage of that.
Yes.
Women seem to take advantage of that to the point where a lot of guys are keeping game now, and they don't want to waste their time being chivalrous, because women are put on game from Jump Street. Guys, we have to learn this shit as we go along. Women, by the time they're 5 years old, say, oh, don't let these boys take advantage of you. They only want one thing. What do they tell us little boys when we're 5 years old? Hold open doors, pull out chairs,
give her your toys, yes.
And then a woman will return your favor. No,
No, she absolutely will not.
Exactly. And even on several Valentine's Days, when guys get stood up and ghosted or whatever, you know, they tell us to put on our best Sunday suit, pay for drinks, dinner, the whole 9 yards. And the thing is, I've done this before. And then guess what? You drop her off, she gives you a kiss, and she says, oh, have a good night. I had fun. We should do this again sometime. And then what happens? Then an hour later, she calls Big Dick Tyrone to come on. She says, be over here in an hour. You know what time it is. Guess what? She put on makeup, shave, shower, everything. And then guess what? She over at Tyrone's house getting her gut pried out. And then guess what happens? 2 hours later, she gets on Facebook complaining about why she can't find a good man.
There you go. That's how it goes. And thanks for the call. I think he said his name was Jay from Facebook. Yeah, listen, he's telling the truth. This is what women do. And again, it's we see and hear this all the time. The better you treat women, the worse they treat you. The men who get the best from women these days are the men who treat them the worst. This is how this works. Now, there are women of potential quality out there, but your first clue that she is not ready for or she is not worthy of a long-term relationship with you is if she rewards bad treatment. Roosh V, who just converted over to Christianity, had a profound tweet. He said, quote, game is for broken women, right? That's what he means. And what he's talking about when he says game, he's talking about pickup game. Now, we always say, oh, the game never ends. You got to game your wife this. No. We don't really mean run game on your wife. Game is just shorthand for understanding how to handle women as they are, not as we think they are, right? So we use game as shorthand. But pickup game, PUA game, asshole, jerk boy game, that works on broken women. This is why women you pick up at the bar or the club or on Tinder or Facebook sluts or IG or whatever, it never works out. Game is for the broken. These women are broken. If you treat a broken woman well, she's going to treat you like shit. This is how it goes. This is always the way it's been. This is actually just now the way it's been, and it's going to be like that for the foreseeable future. Let us go to area code 682. Area code 682, you're on Live at Donovan. Give me your name and location.
Hey, Donovan, it's Mike from Dallas. How you doing, man?
Mike in Dallas, how you doing, man? Any updates on your buddy who is getting married to the girl you used to bang? Any update on that?
Oh, yeah, but, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. That's a story for another call.
Okay, very good, very good.
It ain't. It ain't good. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
The reason why I called is you use an expression all the time that is 100% true because I've experienced it myself, and let me tell you what it is. It's when you say if the shoe were on the other foot, they wouldn't be doing the
Bingo.
same. And I'm gonna tell you why I know this is true. Okay. And I'll make this as short as I can. When I was 28 years old, I almost got married.
Oh.
And I'm gonna tell you why I didn't. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't. The reason why I didn't. Backstory is, I was going back to school to get my master's degree in my field. Okay.
Okay.
And I knew when I was gonna do this, I was gonna have to make some sacrifices financially because I knew to really accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, I was gonna have to cut my work hours back, work part time as opposed to full time. So that was gonna mean that for a short period of time, I was gonna need to downsize dramatically to survive.
Okay, good.
Okay, so the more I thought about it, I'm kind of going, you know what? If I'm going to go through all that, you know, I literally had no shame in it because I knew what my end goal was.
Right.
I talked to my mother and my father. I talked to my mother and my father at the time, and I said, you know what? I'm going to have to downsize massively. Can I just come stay with y'all for a bit while I'm doing this? And their mentality was always, as long as we know you're working towards something and helping yourself, we will help you out financially.
Of course, good. Good parents.
Getting you toward an end goal.
Okay.
Okay. So I make the decision, this is what I want to do. The girl that I was dating at the time was the really what I would, in my heart, call the only long-term relationship I've ever had.
Okay.
And we had been together for several years. And the backstory to that was, this was a girl, this sounds almost too good to be true, so this is where I'm leading you down. This was a girl that I had known since we were kids. She lived across the street from me. We were friends, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And she always had a thing for me. Okay, and this is another story of why I think men and women should never be friends. Always had a thing for me. Every time I dated a girl, she couldn't stand her type of shit. Anyway, as we got older, you know, she finally, you know, came out of the closet and told me how she felt about me. Now, in my stage of mine then, I was red-pilled, but there's different levels of red-pilled based on what you go through. And this was the final notch in the post.
Okay.
So I'm sitting here going, okay, you know, this is the crap you always hear about. Let's see if this is for real. So I start dating somebody that has expressed their love to me for all these years, how they love me. Okay. So anyway, so I tell her this is what I'm going to do. So she says, don't do that. I said, why? She goes, come stay with me. And I said, why would I want to do that? I mean, I'm being logical here. Sure. I said, well, I wouldn't want to put you in that position for a slew of reasons that could end badly.
Oh, yes,
you
course,
know.
Of course.
And I expressed this to her, and she says, no. She goes, you know, we're working toward a future, you know. And this time we were working in the same field, and she had actually gone into the same field I'd gone into to impress me. I figured that out along the way. Okay. So I say, okay, shit, why not? Because in my mind, I'm going, okay. At the time, I'm going, I would do the same for you if I could. I'm thinking that at the time. Okay. Right. And I'm also thinking, if you actually pass this shit test, back then I knew it was a shit test in my mind. She didn't know it. I wasn't doing it deliberately. I didn't beg her to come stay with her. What I thought was, if she can make it through this period of time, if she can actually switch roles, you know, that women always talk about, and women always try to compare themselves to men. If I were you, I would do the same for you, right? Can she do what a man would do for just a short period of time and take on the heavier burden of a higher financial role temporarily?
Right.
If she can do that and it's not going to be a problem, then yes, I will commit to this person for the rest of my life.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking back then.
So what happened?
Well, what happened was, you know, 8 months into the relationship, not the relationship, but the 8 months into us living together, for the previous 2 months after, let's say 6 months, she'd started to act like a royal pain in the ass. So we finally talked about it, and she expressed all of the things that I knew she was going to express, which was, well, you know, I'm paying all the bills, blah, 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 blah. And at that point, I just said, all right, I go, say no more. I will get my stuff and leave.
There you go.
And she looked, you know, and she said, she goes, are you serious? You're just going to leave? And I said, yes. I said, this is what I was trying to avoid. Right. This was what I told you would happen if I moved in here. You do not have the mental and emotional stability to be put in this role and handle it the same way a guy would. I'm sorry, you just can't.
And here's
and
the
I'm
thing.
not looking.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing, Mike and Delson, and I appreciate the call. Here's the thing. Not only are women incapable of this, they're not interested in it, right? And again, this is just like I told that other caller that I played at the beginning of the show. The guy wanted to give this girl $500. The guy came into $500,000, $500,000, and he wanted to pay her back for what she had done for him when he was down and out. I'm like, dude, no, don't do that. If your brother or one of your homeboys did it, yeah, break them off. But never do something for someone that wouldn't do the same for you. Period. That's one of the many reasons I'm with Devin. As of right now, anything I do for Devin, I know 100% that she would do for me. The day I don't feel like she would do for me what I would do for her, I'm out. I'd have to go. Sorry to cut you off there, Mike. That was getting a little long. I've got other callers here. Area code 618-302-770-919, 518-630-202, 678-215, and 909 are next in that order. Let's try to mow through these. Area code 618, you're on Live at Donovan. What is your name and location?
Hello, Donovan. This is Phineas from Dallas/Waxahachie. How are you doing today, sir?
Phineas, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, thanks. Here's something that happened to me, and hopefully I'll be way brief. Okay. Basically, I met this chick on I met this lady on eHarmony while I was traveling back and forth to Japan in 2005.
Okay.
Make the story short, 10 years later, we decide her mom died. She decides we're going to get together. She lived in Connecticut. I lived in St. Louis at the time, but I moved down here back to Texas.
Okay.
Anyway, what wound up happening was we had never got together until that point. I never went up to visit her. I didn't know what her living situation was, etc. So what did I do? She comes down here. We get together. I rent a house. Okay. Oh, wow. But there's a catch. She has 3 grown sons, right?
Oh.
2 grown sons didn't live with her, but the middle one did. Well, the middle one turned out later to be kind of like the quintessential I'm gonna raise the F boy that I always wanted kind of dude, right?
Right.
So anyway, I made the mistake of letting her pay for the deposit on the pad.
Oh, God.
I covered everything else. So fast forward again. Okay, 6 months into this stuff, this dude, man, he's living she let him move his stuff into the dining room, which is right next to the front door. I told her, look, this dude's 25. He's going to be screwing in the front room. But she didn't listen. Everything that happened in the house was screw Phineas or whatever. He's insulted my son who was in college at the time, talking about
disrespecting
anyway, I'm fast forwarding it. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, but in the end, here's what happens. After paying for all of the bills, paying her up for a whole year, and deciding that, okay, after this is it, I move out, I find me another place, I'm gone, right? She tries to guilt trip me after all of that. When she is the one that got, she was the one that basically, sucked me in and got me stuck for a whole year paying for everything.
And then she tried to guilt trip you.
And I'm just saying that then it's my fault because I up and split. But the thing is that it was one of those type of things where I knew better. You know what I mean? I've been through stuff like that before, but it's just like, you try to be traditional. You try to be cool.
You try to treat women well.
Situations, and it just doesn't work.
It never works. It never, ever works. Phineas, as quickly as you can, what would be your advice to the guy in the Reddit post? What is your advice to, quote, frustrated provider male? What should his very next move be?
His weakness is his money.
Yep.
Walk away from it.
Yep.
Just completely walk away from it. It's over, and just learn a lesson, and just don't do it again. Like right now, I would never move in with a chick if I'm not married to her ever again.
Good stuff. Sorry to cut you off there. Thanks for the call, Phineas in Dallas and Waxahachie. I think that's Dallas, Waxahachie. I think that's Texas. Sounds like a city in Oklahoma. Yeah, listen, we've all been through this stuff. We all see and hear this stuff all the time. Then we get girls. It's so funny. We get women who listen to shows like this and they hear these stories. Well, you guys are dating the wrong women. Not all women are like that. Dude, millions of men didn't just get together and hatch some conspiracy to just trash women. We love women. Wait, dude, I love women. No, just like the other guy said, nobody hates Mike in Dallas. I don't hate women. I just know who they are. Actually, that was Greg in New Jersey. He says, listen, I don't hate women. I just understand who they are now. And understanding who they are is acknowledging hard and fast truths about them. But of course, anything you say unflattering about a woman is quote unquote hate speech, right? Big thanks goes out to Nicholas Skeels with the $2 super chat. Sheldon Ross with the $5 super chat says, LOL, if only it were legal to hunt the simp, kidnap them, and put them into red pill camps. Yeah, right. We pull up in the nondescript red van. We black bag them, right? We black bag them. We throw them in the van. We drive them to Vegas, right? Take them out to Lake Mead. Do like a concentration camp for red pill. That'd be funny. Good one. Ted Randolph with the $5 Canadian, which I now know is $3.77 US, says Donovan out here saving brothers. Appreciate that. Over 1,000 people watching. 1,047 people watching, to be exact. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let us go back to area code 302. Area code 302, you're on live at Donovan. Give me your name and location, please.
What's up, Donovan? You got a great show, man. My name's Jim, and I'm calling from Delaware.
All right. Jim in Delaware.
Yeah. I just was wondering if you, like, when you know so much about women, the nature of women, what makes you want to go through the frustrations of dealing with them the way they have to be dealt? Like when you say they don't want loyalty, all that stuff.
Yeah.
What makes it worth it to you? Sex, obviously.
God, listen, this is a very good question. And I don't know if you saw the show yesterday, but there's a guy by the name of Alan Roger Curry. He is a player.
Right. Yeah, I know who he is.
Right. He's a player of 3+ decades standing. He is now engaged to be married. And so when you ask guys like him, and I'm in a long-term relationship myself, what makes it, I think what makes it worth it to me, I think it's the perceived certainty, right? I like my life the way my life is now. Men, we like predictability. We like our lives to be the same. Girls like their lives to be spontaneous and out of control and all this other kind of stuff. No, men, we don't like that. The player life is very uncertain. And listen, dude, Jen, don't get me wrong. The player life was great. And dude, listen, man, I was on an 8-year magic carpet ride in Sin City. Dude, that's as good as it gets.
Right.
I'm fucking Vegas sluts. I'm doing blow with strippers. I lived the life. But there is a downside to living that life. You got to get STD checks every month. Dude, you don't know if you're going to get a text or a call talking about I'm pregnant. Listen, I wrapped up, but every once in a while, I was irresponsible. I'm just going to keep it 100 and just let you guys know that. You just never know. And even to this day, I still have my same 2 phone numbers. Even to this day, I'm thinking, if I see a call from area code 702 or area code 775, I'm thinking, is that Denara telling me that she's pregnant? Because I remember I fucked her without a condom for like a week and then I put it back on. Or is this Daphne from Vegas again? Or is that Brianna, the chick I went to Mexico? You just never know what could happen. Now, some guys love the player life and they're going to be in it for life. But for me, what makes it worth doing what's necessary to keep a woman in line is the sameness. And listen, we as men, we say women ain't shit all the time. We know this to be true. But as a man, I can only speak for me, but I think I speak for most men when we say, even though we know that women are the way they are, it would be disingenuous for any of us to say that being with a woman that we can trust and love does elevate your life. We don't need women. Don't get me wrong. Like if I didn't have Devin, I would still be here. Trust and believe. But having her in my life makes it better. I like being able to get guaranteed pussy every night. I like getting home cooked meals. I like having a woman who doesn't get out of pocket. Now it took a long time to get here, and Devin does make mistakes every once in a while, but she'll either course correct or I will correct her myself. And we go right back to where we were. So what makes it worth it? I think we're all traditionalists. What makes it worth it to do what needs to be done to be in a relationship is a relationship. Relationships suck these days. I get it. But when you're in a good relationship, man, life really is good. I guess we all still have a little bit of that blue pill fantasy in us, and I'm never ever gonna be Mr. Blue Pill guy, but yeah, like I'm a guy who can admit, yeah, you know what? My life was great in Vegas, but here in Philadelphia, my life is a little more fulfilling. That's the best answer I can give you.
Can I ask another quick one? I don't got time.
No, go ahead, man. You got it.
I wanted to know, like, how does Devin feel about knowing that you're like you've got the blueprint on how to get at him, and does she feel like she's being controlled? Like, how does that affect her?
You know, it's funny.
Does she like know she's under your spell?
Right? Yeah. That's the thing, man. It's in a lot of guys ask this. Well, if your woman knows that you're running game on her, then you're not really running game. Devin likes this life. She loves the fact that I've created this life for myself, and she loves me for what I am. And the reason it doesn't affect Devin, because Devin knew I was Donovan Sharp from day one. She knew I was Donovan Sharp. Like she's like, oh yeah, you're the guy that wrote X, Y, and Z articles for Return of Kings. So she knows that this isn't an act, right? She knows that there are certain things that I do and say, not because some game guru told me, no, but it's because of my past experiences with women has shown me what to do, and more importantly, what not to do. So it doesn't affect Devin at all, because she knows that I am 100% congruent with who I am on either side of the camera.
Okay. All right, man.
Good question, Jen. Thanks for calling. Very, very good call, man. Dude's out here making your boy think today. Making your boy think. Very good questions by Jen, man. Man, Jen in Delaware. Call back anytime, brother. All right, let's go to area code 770. Area code 770. You're on Live at Donovan. Give me your name and location.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you, this is Lurker the Berserker. I'm afraid to say my real name because I don't want to,
that's fine.
Somebody might be listening.
No, that's cool. I like the name though, Lurker the Berserker.
I kind of Lurker the Berserker. I was red pilled by watching my dad go through living hell dealing with women, watching him pay 24 years of child support. And it wasn't the child support that scared me. It was the fact that when he wanted to get my sister, he couldn't. And the woman dictated when and where and how he could get her. And even if it was court ordered, and my dad was doing what he's supposed to. He's an electrician, so he paid when he was supposed to, but he couldn't get her when he was supposed to. Then fast forward, he married a woman, and my dad is supposed to be retired, and my dad is still working, paying her bills with her grown daughter in the house.
Christ. How old is your dad?
And who wasn't paying any bills. My dad's 67.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, he should have been retired 2 years ago, man. And electricians make great money, don't they?
Yeah. That's the thing. He can't retire because he's still paying her bills. And with her grown daughter who's living her life and doesn't pay any bills. My dad doesn't support me and my brother and my sister. He doesn't need to. We're independent.
Sure.
But this girl, he's telling us, oh yeah, the daughter's paying $300 a month. I don't believe that shit. He's doing that to keep us off his ass.
Right.
And the sad part about it is my dad should be in the country in Alabama somewhere on our homestead property. And, basically he's at work every day paying her bills. And I've been red pilled just by watching my dad. You never mind my own experiences that have red pilled me, and I don't have any kids, so it's just watching my dad go through hell has been the most painful part, of this whole situation.
And my guess, and it sounds to me, Lurker, your dad's a good dude. He's a good guy. He works hard every day, takes responsibility for his actions. He's a stand-up guy, good, strong father, but he's being taken advantage of.
Absolutely. And, he's a country boy, boy, we were raised out in, I'm from Alabama, but I'm in Atlanta. I call it AT hell because, it's not it's not a paradise what you would think it is. It's not the paradise.
No, it is
not. I'm a straight black guy, and it's still not as easy as you would think it is.
Nope.
If I wanted to really settle down with someone, I would have to sift through all the bisexual females and all the lesbians who like to come over and try to sift resources, when they think they can. Because there are lesbians here in Atlanta that will marry you, have kids, and take everything you have and go back with their girlfriend.
Yep, there you go.
And that's been happening a lot. I've seen that a lot lately. So not only are you dealing with the women who are trying to trick you, you also have the lesbians coming over and victimizing men as well.
Well, thanks for the call, Lurker the Berserker. Yeah, man. Atlanta, and I've lived in Atlanta on 2 separate occasions, and I hated it both times. There is a very large. I'll put it to you this way: Atlanta is quite literally the San Francisco of the East Coast. I'll just put it like that. Atlanta is the San Francisco of the East Coast. Not a good place to live for black men. That's for sure. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 919. Area code 919. You're on Live with Donovan. Name and location.
Hey, Donovan. How you doing?
Good.
Can't really give out my name. I got a crazy-ass ex who's stalking the shit out of me.
Oh, shit. So I'm going to call you Guy with the crazy-ass ex. So what's going on with your crazy-ass ex, man?
Yeah, crazy ass ex. I fucked her sister and she's upset, but she broke up with me like 2 days ago. So let's not go into that. Let's not go
Jesus
into that.
Christ! All right.
I can't.
Oh my God! Good.
I came here to talk about 2 things.
Okay.
Number 1, Donovan, keep your dick in your pants. All right, and this is not just to you. This is for all men.
Everybody. All right.
A dude the dude who lives in there's a second neighborhood that I'm next to, right?
Mm-hmm.
The very first house, a police officer caught his wife with another man, shot them both. He got away with it. That's that's all I came here to say. All right.
Okay.
Also, and another question.
Okay.
Why is it that women learn hard lessons when they're 40 and not when they're younger? That's all I wanted to say.
Listen, here's the thing, Guy with the crazy ass ex. This is funny, and thanks for the call. This is a very good question. This question was, why do women not learn lessons until they're in their 40s? That's a trick question. Women already know the game when they're in their 40s. They already know what's going to happen when they get older. Women know that men don't prefer older women. They know that men prefer younger women without kids. But women always say, it's not going to happen to me. I have time. When they're young and hot, not going to happen to me. They pop out a kid. Okay, I'm a single mother, right? But I've only got 1 kid. Not going to happen to me. She gets knocked up at 32. All right. I'm 32 years old. I'm a single mother of 2, but I've only got 2 kids. Unlike Shawanda down there, she's got 17 kids, right? So I'm still young and viable. Women understand exactly what's going to happen to them. They don't have some epiphany. Oh my God, this is how it is. No, they're the last to know they've hit the wall. They know it's going to happen, but they never realize when it does. They see it all around them. They hear stories. They see their friends, aunts, uncles, cousins, mothers. They see everybody going through this stuff. But one day they wake up, they're 39 years old, they've got 4 kids and no man. And they think to themselves, holy shit, what I've been worried about for the last 15, 20 years, what I have known about since I'm 15 years old, I am now that woman. So no, Guy with the crazy ass ex, women don't learn their lessons at 40. They know exactly what's going to happen. They just never realize when it does happen. Area code 518. Area code 518. You're on Live with Donovan. Name and location.
Hey, Donovan. This is Brian from New York.
Brian from New York. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm great. There's something I wanted to touch on. I was looking into this whole incel thing because I thought it was hilarious because I've been in that position.
Sure.
But I was also running across some articles where they're talking about the dating apps are fucking the market up. Like, you got all these girls going for the top X%. So you got a ton of guys who's in their 20s, no experience, and then they get to their 30s, and the girls, because, girls pop up every day who's 18. So, like, they're going to be there at 50 and 60.
Right.
Well, these girls is like, all right, well, shit, where's your experience,
Right.
Because I experienced that, like, when I was 32, I moved a chicken, which was crazy, to the crystals and everything.
Damn.
And I got a 3-hour conversation where a kid choking on something, and I kicked her out, had the grandpa move in quick enough for him to pack everything up.
Okay.
This bitch was going crazy, fucking doing drugs, which I found out later she was on some other shit. But I just wanted to touch on this thing, because now we're going to have a whole bunch of 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds, 40-year-olds who's flooding the market. And these bitches is just going to keep on going for the top X%. And you're going to have a whole bunch of fucked up people in the human race, No,
I agree. I agree 100%. And thanks for the call, Brian in New York. Yeah, listen, I've actually talked about this before, and I forget who I talked about it. It might have been Steve the Dean Williams or maybe even Black Label Logic. But yeah, dating apps have completely destroyed the dating market, right? The danger with using dating apps for regular guys is that you can't really be successful with pretty girls because all they have to go on at the time is the way you look. Guys, my detractors all the time. Game doesn't matter, Donovan. All you need is looks, money, and status. Okay, you're right if you're only on dating apps. If you don't have looks, money, or status, you're going to strike out on dating apps, guys. This is why face-to-face game, face-to-face pickup game is the most effective for guys who aren't in the top 20, 15, 10% in terms of looks, money, and status. There are guys out here who are average looking. They don't have they work a regular average job. They don't make that much money and they have no status. But because they know how to handle women, because they've got the gift of gab, because they're confident, they carry themselves with some swagger, they fuck pretty bitches all the goddamn time. Now, those average looking guys on dating apps will put his picture on dating apps with him with other hot girls, and that would, I guess, hypothetically, theoretically speaking, attract other hot girls. But guys, I'm here to tell you, dating apps are always a dead end for even if you're a good looking guy, it doesn't matter. You got to be a top. If you want hot girls to swipe right on you, you got to be a hot guy because that's all she has to go on. She doesn't know what you sound like. She doesn't know anything about you, right? But when it comes down to it, a girl would much rather date a dude who has his shit together, knows where he's going in life, knows how to handle her, is bold, is confident, has a plan, keeps her in line, calls her out on her bullshit, makes her feel highs and lows, than dating a guy who looks like Zac Efron, who has the personality of a fucking pogo stick. That's what it comes down to. They're like, okay, fuck this guy. He looks like Chris Hemsworth, but yeah. This is why girls, once they're on Tinder, they're always on Tinder. All they're doing is dating fucking Ken dolls. Women want and need men of substance. Tinder is junk food. It's Doritos. It's Little Debbie cakes. They taste great, but they're not really fulfilling. This is why you guys need to get off of dating apps, man. Because all she has to go on are looks, and she's going on looks. You're gonna lose every time, man. Area code 630. Area code 630. You are on Live with Donovan. Name and location, please.
Hey, Donovan. This is Matt from Chicago.
Matt in Chicago. How you doing, man? You're the guy that red-pilled your father, correct?
No, I was the guy after I called in yesterday, and you explained to me about the wall, and I appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Never mind. My bad. All right. So what's going on, Matt?
So
How you doing?
based on your show today, I actually had a follow-up question.
Okay.
Do men have to game differently after age 30? So speaking from myself, my experience and my friends' experiences, when I was younger, being in grad school, less money, I'm a student, and I had to game a lot harder because I had less resources, right? So I had to keep myself in shape. I'm like 5'10", 185, a CrossFitter. And now, I'm crossing 30, I have established in a career, I got more money, more resources, and that kind of raises my status. And I, it's like with women a couple years ago, it used to be about, 50-50, 60-40, where I could, like what you talk about in your program, weed out and disqualify girls, like who's going to put out and who's going to be a pain in the ass.
That's exactly right.
Essentially.
There you go.
And it's like I'm noticing as I'm crossing into, being more successful in my field, it's like women are sort of sniffing that. They sniff it like sharks and blood in the water.
Yeah, women smell success, don't they?
Right. And my question to you is, do guys in my situation, do we have to game a little bit differently than we did in our 20s versus our 30s when we have success versus, not many resources?
Yeah.
Or is it just a matter of gaming a lot harder, just going out, being more shameless, talking to the barista, approaching more girls, because, like you say in your podcast, if you close on 1 out of every 10 girls, if your close percentage is 1 out of 10 or even 1 out of 25,
King dingling,
right?
Yeah, right.
So, what are your thoughts on it, man? I appreciate you.
No, absolutely. Listen, the answer to your question is yes. When you have to game much differently in your 30s than your 20s. However, The answer is yes for any other kind of sexual currency, right? So when you're a guy in your 20s, you're going to be lacking resources and you're going to be lacking money and, maybe you have some direction, but you don't have experience. You don't have resources, right? You don't have the slight salt and pepper beard that girls are feverishly attracted to. Well, that is a sexual market deficiency. Yet there are men in their mid-20s who regularly fuck hot girls. The reason for this is because they make up in other areas where they are deficient. So when you get into your 30s, all of a sudden now where you used to be deficient, now you have a surplus. Not only are you able to game differently, you don't have to game as much and you start getting more opportunities with women without you actually having to initiate that conversation or contact. But it also applies with weight, right? What you just asked is literally the same thing as, hey, Donovan, I used to be 312 pounds. Now I'm 225 pounds in solid muscle. Do I have to game different now as a fit guy than I was as a fat guy? The answer is yes. You are deficient in terms of aesthetic physical fitness. Now you have a surplus in that. Hey, Donovan, do I have to game women as differently from when I was broke to now when I have a little bit of money? It's the same thing. So I said all that to say this, Matt, and you asked a very good question. The more deficient you are in any one sexual market department, okay, and these are things that are not under your control. You can't control your height, you can't control the way you look, right? But you can control your body, you can control your mind, you can't control your finances, okay? So if you are sexually deficient in some areas, money, status, looks, whatever the case may be, you must raise your value in ways you have control over. When you raise your value in ways you have control over, this is when you can game differently, meaning you don't really have to game as hard because just like you said, women smell success. Women have a supernatural sense in detecting when a man really has a shit together. Now that you're in your 30s, women are starting to see, okay, he has a shit together, and they will absolutely make themselves more available to you. So yeah, you're not going to have to game as hard. You're not going to have to game as long. You're going to fight. You're still going to have to game, okay? But you're going to find that opportunities will sort of find their way to you a lot more often now that you're in your 30s. Good question.
Right. And may I ask a follow-up then?
Sure.
What changes would you suggest that a guy such as myself or anybody else would make in their game, where you have to game less? And obviously, yeah, I'm noticing where girls are putting themselves out there. They're like, hey, we want to hang out.
Yes.
Hey, let's do something.
Yes.
And I have the same approach where it's like I just take them out for a drink, like a single drink, and pretty much what you said in your other podcast.
Yep.
Like I'll buy you a vodka soda. You can get me
whiskey sour.
I'll take a club soda. And so they take note of that. They because obviously they're experienced, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know what they know what game is,
right?
And they try to shame it out of me, why can't you be in a relationship? Why and because obviously they smell the success.
That's right.
So my follow-up question would be, what changes would you say a guy in his 30s who's maybe seeing some success should make in game and approaching women or maybe disqualifying them? Now that he's successful.
I would do this. You sound like you're probably a good-looking guy. Am I wrong?
I mean, I'm not bad. I've dated some pretty hot girls. What can I say?
Okay. And you're a CrossFit guy, which means you're in good shape, right?
Yeah, 5'10", 185. I've done CrossFit for the last 3 years.
Okay, there we go. So you're likely in the top 20%. Because you're in the top 20%, my suggestion to you, get on Tinder. Get on dating apps. You're the guy, and you sound like dude, your name is Matt, you live in Chicago. Dude, you are the Anglo slut, American slut's dream. Do you have blue eyes? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're a white guy who's in great shape, who's in your 30s. You are in the top 20%. Get on Tinder, start spinning chicks. Do not start thinking about a long-term relationship for at least 7 years. And when girls ask you, hey, Matt, so you don't want to be in a relationship, why not? The answer is simple. I haven't met anyone that's worth being in a long-term relationship with me. Oh, a little cocky, aren't we? Not cocky. I'm just honest. And leave it at that. Matt in Chicago with the call. I appreciate the call. So yeah, Matt sounds like he's on his way. Matt sounds like he is definitely well on his way to being a high-value guy. Matt in Chicago. I love that. I love it. Big thanks goes out to Cuban Libertarian with the $2 super chat. Says a lot of young college girls with hairy legs in Atlanta. Oh wow. Wow. Freelance Ronan, the original TSROG with the $5 super chat says game. This is good. Says game has to be mentally internalized, gentlemen. You can't spray it on You can't spray on game like cologne. You've got to be cold with it. Dude, comment of the day. You can't spray on game like cologne, guys. And just like girls have a supernatural sense of detecting men who are successful, men who have their shit together, they also have a supernatural ability to detect men who are not congruent. Don't come at, dude. Don't come at a brunette with a great ass and big fake fucking tits with, hey, are you from Tennessee? You're the only 10 I see. Don't hit her. No. Don't try the neg techniques. Don't try this, dude. Guys, listen, man. Like, it's 2020. That old pickup game, that old pickup style game doesn't work, man. Yes, you do have to pass shit tests, but dude, look a girl in the eye, say hi, I'm Donovan, and strike up conversation. Be confident and make eye contact. If she's feeling you, she's gonna feel you. If she doesn't, move to the next target. That's all there is to it. Area code 202. Area code 202. You're on live with Donovan, and give me your name and location.
Hey, what's going on, Donovan, man? This is Charles from Hydesville, Maryland.
Charles in Hydesville, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Love your show, man. You give out great content to people, and you know, I actually came up on your show going through a bad breakup of 5.5 years with my ex.
Ooh.
And everything you explain, you know, through to the shit test, through losing frame after about probably 1.5 to 2 years into the relationship, and then also too, you know, rewarding bad behavior.
Right.
Kind of like the Reddit post. Even though, you know, that guy, he wasn't attached to that girl, and well, he was attached to her, but she wasn't attached to him in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
I've done all that. You know, I've given her money for trips. I've given her money to help her out. I've done all that things. You know, all those things.
Hey, man,
you know,
me
just
too,
simply
bro. Me
because
too.
out of, you know, goodness of my heart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
I know
like,
exactly what
you
you
know, my advice to, you know, that guy and, you know, these men out here is that, you know, you guys got to really understand the red pill, because it's going to show you a lot. Like, the things you talk about, man, I went through it, man. The constant shit test, her asking for space, cheating on me, her still having her ex-boyfriend in her life as a friend, this, that, and third, and all this other bullshit. Like, I've been through it.
Man. They do
and all I
it
want
all.
to say, man, is, like, thank you for it, because, you know, you opened my eyes, man, for real.
Well, I appreciate the call, man. Yeah, listen, and the reason why a lot of men watch my show is because I've been there. Guys, you just heard me talk about it at the 21 convention, man. I've been that guy. I rented a house for a woman who was fucking her ex-con baby daddy. I've been there. I've been married. I bought my wife a new car, bought us a second house. Nothing was ever enough. I have lived this shit. I live this shit. So it's good to hear that guys are getting something out of my content. I always that's always very gratifying to me. Area code 215. You're on live with Donovan. I assume you are in the Philadelphia greater metropolitan area. What is your name?
It's Michael, Donovan.
Hey, Michael, how you doing? Oh, it sounds like you're using a voice modulator. Michael in Philly.
Give me a second.
No, you're okay. Go ahead. What's up, man?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. There we go. Much better. Much better.
Yeah. Okay. Just a quick note. I was the State of Mike Super Chat.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Recently a new Patreon supporter.
Excellent.
Get right to it.
Okay.
I had an ex that contacted me on a Super Bowl night, and a quick rundown. We had an emotional fallout.
Ooh.
She suffered a condition called PCOS. So she had an irregular emotional breakdowns and stuff like that.
Okay.
And with me being a not so nice guy, I couldn't take it no more. So we had a falling out. But the context of why she contacted me back was she hit me with the classic line, "I just wanted to see you." In my mind, that's translation.
I'm trying to fuck.
I want that dick.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Right.
All the shit that you put me through.
Right.
And now, me with all the red pill content, I was like, I'm going to play around with her. I said, as pertaining to what? And
good.
Women,
Very
they just
good.
do not answer the question straight up.
And you knew she wanted to physically see you, but she did not want to fuck you. That's when you figured it out.
Without question.
Oh, my God.
She did not want to answer straight up.
Of course not.
My question is, when an ex contacts you, should you initiate the idea of fucking again, or wait till she initiates the conversation?
Yeah, very, very good question. When an ex contacts you, and you got to go back and listen to my episode, 7 reasons your ex-girlfriend contacts you again. One of the reasons I talk about is the reason she's contacted. And by the way, you talked about, for those of you who aren't, and I just looked it up on Google, PCOS is called polycystic ovary syndrome. It's a hormonal disorder common among women of reproductive age. It's long periods, all sorts of hormones everywhere, and that's why they kind of go off the rails a little bit. My ex-wife had PCOS. But yeah, when your ex-girlfriend contacts you, most people think that she wants to fuck. Now, she may very well want to fuck, but chances are it's for reasons other than fucking. Maybe she just got dumped by her boyfriend and needed validation. And again, a lot of ex-girlfriends will make plans with you. Yes, we are going to fuck, and then we'll flake out at the last minute. She never intended to fuck you. All she wanted to know was that you wanted to fuck her. She gets that validation by getting you to agree to fuck her. So if your ex-girlfriend contacts you, should you bring up the fucking? No. You wait for her to bring it up first. Then you turn her down. If she brings it up again, you turn it down again. If she brings it up a third time, okay, she might want to fuck a little more than you had originally thought, and even then, you make her work for it. But after all is said and done, you should never fuck your exes. You should never, ever, ever fuck your exes. It only leads to trouble. But listen, if you don't have any feelings involved, then yeah, I mean, sport fuck her for a little bit. Use her as a side chick. Just make sure that you don't catch feelings for her anymore. And that's hard to do because, of course, you guys have history. So that would be my advice to you. Do not bring up fucking when your ex contacts you. That is absolutely something she's waiting on. That's not going to look good on your part. Area code 704. Area code 704. You're on live with Donovan. Your name and location, please.
Hey, Donovan. This is Bruce in North Carolina.
Bruce in North Carolina. How you doing, man?
Hey, man. Good. Hey, listen, it's slightly of a different off topic in terms of gaming women.
Okay.
Want to get your thoughts on professional gaming women in the workforce, meaning that, as more and more women assume leadership roles, with diversity and quota requirements and men having to work underneath them, there's that dichotomy between being an alpha and being a threat, especially if she's not really qualified for that position but was given the advancement just because of her gender.
Yeah, right.
And then being a beta, where she doesn't respect you, and then she starts to shit test, micromanage, all the crap that goes along with that. So I wanted to get your perspective of working for a younger woman, younger manager, and how best to address that, because I've tried both, and I've found that taking more of an alpha, not give a fuck attitude just presents a lot of problems. But when I supplicate and say whatever you'd like, just give me direction, then she becomes more of that shit tester, like, what are you doing right now? That whole clinical exam, like, have you done this? Have you done that?
Right.
And it's just like, I don't need to be micromanaged like that.
Sure, I got you. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if this is you or not, but I remember someone calling from your area code. I think you were in the middle of you were in the middle of transitioning fields, and I think you asked me, "Hey, listen, how do we handle the workplace as it is now?" Was that you, or am I thinking of somebody else?
Yes, that
was
memory,
you,
man.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
me.
I have a good memory. Okay, so how the way I would handle, because I've had to work for women younger than me, but they were almost always in a call center environment. The way to, and what you have to understand is that working for women, working for women is almost as risky as dating.
Sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, dude, because it's almost like a constant minefield. You don't want to hand a company your balls just for a paycheck, but by the same token, you need to keep your job. So you want to keep your foot out of your mouth. I don't have too much experience with working for women, but I do know that Troy Francis, I believe, wrote an article, and I've got your phone number. Send me an email with this question, and I'll actually find you the article. How to handle, I think it's called something like "How to Handle the Workplace as an Alpha Male Working for a Female," and he goes step by step on how to handle the workplace working for women without looking like a beta male, but not being, but not allowing yourself to be stepped all over, because that's a very, very tricky proposition, and I don't want to give you advice that I'm not really certain of. I think I remember I advised you to maybe, and I don't know, this was sort of throwing spaghetti, maybe look into a blue collar field, right? Forklift driver, plumber, because women generally aren't, supervisors in those positions. But anytime you're working in an office, yeah, the vast majority of your supervisors are absolutely going to be women. I guess the only thing that I can tell you is be as confident as you can be. Look her in the eye, and that's really, I don't know, even that could come off as threatening. So I'm really out of my depth here, but send me an email, tsr@donovansharp.com, and what I'll do is I'll send you a link to that article, and hopefully you can get some good sound advice there.
Okay, I appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. Thanks for the call, Bruce in North Carolina. Yeah, I remember when that guy called in. I remember when he called in. Area code 772. You're on live at Donovan. Name and location.
Tom, Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Tom in Florida. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing good. I love your show.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you.
I love everything you're putting out there. You're giving great advice. I wish more women would listen to your stuff so they can change. And
listen, Tom. Women do listen, but they ain't changing.
I know. I try explaining that. Like, if I talk to a girl and one of the things they say, "Oh, I'm a good mom," I'll be like, "Hey, that's great for your kid, but what value does that bring to me?" They hate men with standards.
Oh yeah. Oh God, you're telling me. So
I
what's
just
on your
love
mind,
your
Tom?
show, and I just want to tell you, keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, Tom. Tom in Florida. Yeah, listen, Tom nails it. Women hate men with standards. Actually, translation, terrible women hate men with standards. If a woman knows she ain't shit, that's the women who hate standards. And if you ask a woman who ain't shit, do you hate men with standards? No, I don't hate men with standards. I just think his standards are unrealistic. Wait, standards like you got to be under 250 pounds, not have kids, not have tattoos, and not be a slut? Those are unrealistic standards? Like what are we doing here? What are we doing? Thanks for the call, Tom in Florida. Area code 514. Area code 514, you're on live at Donovan. Name and town.
Hey, Donovan. This is Ali from Montreal.
Ali from Montreal. I remember talking to you. Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you the guy who called me up? And I think you said that you were friends with a girl or something like that, and you wanted to know how you could be more masculine, and I think I told you that you needed to be a little bit more masculine. Are you that guy?
No, actually, I'm a first-time caller.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. I saw Ollie from Canada. All right, so Ollie, what's going on, man?
Well, I just wanted to get a kind of little crash course, because I'm 21, and I was a beta male throughout high school and just throughout life, and recently the red pill just kind of made me aware of my failures, in a sense where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still living with my mom and I'm not really trained in anything. So I'm trying to work on that. But, every time I try and focus on myself, I kind of get distracted by girls, and then I just kind of fall back into this kind of mindset, because I feel like today, you have this kind of pressure to get into that beta male mindset.
Sure, no, I get it.
I'm just wondering, how do you keep that workflow going?
Yeah, listen. And by the way, you guys are going to hear the lady say 90 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds. Do not worry. If you are in the queue, you will get on the show. It's just you have 1 minute and 16 seconds to get in the queue. If you're in the queue, you're on the show. This is actually quite simple. If you're looking for a crash course here, number one, you need to go into what we call monk mode. When you first find the red pill, you need to go into monk mode. Dude,
60 seconds.
No video games, no porn, no girls. Get off the grid. Deactivate all social media accounts. Don't jerk off to porn. And this is not easy to do, but when you come out of this 6-month monk mode, you are a changed man. During monk mode, you can certainly watch TV, but limit your interaction with your friends. Right now, you're working on yourself. During monk mode, you need to consume red pill content all the time, 7 days a week. Watch videos, read articles, listen to podcasts. Red pill content all the time. Number two, you need to read, I guess, what we call the red pill Bibles. And you can listen to this on the replay to get this list. I actually have this list up on my Patreon. It's called, oh, actually, you know what? Hang on a second. hold on. I'm actually going to pull it up in the description because I put it. Oh, I don't even have to put it up in the description. So if you go into the description of all of my videos, you will find that I have what's called Donovan's Red Pill readings. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second, and I'm gonna pull this list up here, just so. And I just want other people. Okay, so during monk mode, you should read these books. The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi. Now, that book you have to pay for. The rest of these books are absolutely free. The Manipulated Man by Esther Villar. The Predatory Female by the Reverend Lawrence Shannon. The Solomon 2 blog by Dalrock. That is solid fucking red pill gold. That, listen, you want a crash course in red pill awareness? The Solomon 2 blog by Dalrock, who happens to be a very good friend of Rollo Tomassi. The Book of Pook by Pook, and the Misandry Bubble by The Futurist. Those are, that right together, that is essentially the red pill Bible. You read that stuff all the time.
Let me tell you, Donovan.
Go ahead.
You know, I feel like, you know, ever since like I was maybe like 13, I've been like watching porn, and I feel like, you know, it's been a really hard, like, kind of journey. I'm trying my best, but I feel like porn has kind of, like, fucked up my mind, you know, in a way.
Well, guess what?
Like,
well, again, Ollie, hold on, Ollie. Here's the thing, brother, and thanks for the call. Ollie, bruh, listen, man, you're 21, man. Like, listen, I understand that porn has you by the balls, bruh. You need to get up out of that. Like, you're a man, dude. Like, I just sat here and I just gave you a roadmap in terms of what to do. Okay? Stopping porn is not easy. I get it. Stopping video games is not easy. I understand that too. But if you want to improve your life, if you want to give yourself, you're only 21. You have no idea how lucky you are that you watch my show at 21. I got guys in their 50s, 60s, and 70s saying, man, I wish I knew this stuff when I was 21. But you want to tell me, well, porn has my, no, dude, no, fuck that, man. Stop the porn, stop the video games, get off the grid, and stop chasing fucking girls. You do that for 6 months. You consume red pill content every day. You get in the gym every day. You learn a martial art. At the end of 6 months, you're going to be a new man. That's the crash course I'm going to offer you. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. Quit the porn. Quit video games. Quit chasing girls. Get off social media. Learn a martial art and lift weights. And lift weights 5 days a week for 6 months. After that, you'll be a new fucking man. You'll be a new man. All right, area code 770. You're on Live with Donovan. Name and location. 770. Yes, sir.
Yo, this Tato. I'm in Georgia.
Tato in Georgia, how you doing, man?
So, hey, man, what's up, man? So I've been listening to your show, man, and I just wanted to say two things real quick. First, man, stop sleeping with married man wives, dog. Like, as a man, even though this woman is a whore and you know she's fast and easy, you should respect that other man. Even though he is a sucker, you should respect him as a man. Like, you know what? He already got it bad enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to fuck his whore wife. He clearly don't even know that she's a whore. And then it's just like,
listen, dude,
then it's like, don't be so scared.
No, hold on. Let me address that. Listen, man, I fucked plenty of married wives. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I felt guilty about it. There are some I felt guilty about, but what you have to understand, Tato in Georgia, is that wives are going to cheat. If she didn't fuck me, if she doesn't fuck me, she's going to fuck somebody else, right? Like that. Listen, this is the game, right, bruh. Like, this is the game, and there's no such. And listen, the other guy, I forget who it was, says, listen, man caught his dude sleeping with his wife, shot them both. Right? That's a reason men shouldn't sleep with married women. But this whole moral thing, hey, that's another man's wife, leave her alone, bruh. That's blue pill nonsense, man. The game doesn't give a fuck about the feelings of men or women. That's my response to that.
But listen to this though. You should give a fuck. As a man, if you have the standard, and I'm not saying, you know, there's nothing wrong. It is what it is. But I'm saying you should have the standard to be like, I'm not going to violate. Just because, off strength for me. You know, it don't really have nothing to do with the girl, because the girl is just a whore who got married. You know, a wife is, you know, these dudes, they marry these whores and think, oh, just because she got a ring, she's a wife. You know what I'm saying? Of course not. She's a slut.
Listen, man. Hold on. Listen, I understand what you mean, but dude, there is no morality in the game, dude. It doesn't matter. There's no morality in the game. Like, this is just how this is. I mean, listen, you can laugh, but listen, hold on. Do you think that girls who are fucking married men, and more girls fuck married men than men fuck married women? Like, you do realize that? Do you think that girls who are fucking married men give a fuck about the sanctity of marriage and their fellow woman? Fuck no. So if they don't give a fuck about our marriages, then why should we give a fuck about theirs? No, there's no morality in game. What's your next question or comment?
All right, so then I also wanted to say another thing with the wall, man. From my own experience, I realized girls are in their prime like from 17 to 24. I don't know. It seems like girls start dipping way before 30.
Yeah, man. And you want to know? Check that. No. Listen, you're right, Tato. And the reason why girls are hitting the wall sooner, and I know typically we say the wall is 30 years old, right? Dude, in the past 15, 20 years, the wall is probably closer to 28, 26 years old. And the reason for this is because girls are not mentally, physically, or spiritually designed to be fucking everybody. This is right. One of the many reasons we age much better than women, because we can fuck hundreds of women, thousands of women. We're still going to age gracefully. Women's bodies are ill-equipped to be fucking multiple men. You're having multiple fluids from different men entering your body. That's going to fuck up your ecosystem. We call this, well, there's one thing theoretically, we call it the 1,000-cock stare. If you skeet in a woman, dude, she can pee it out, whatever. Your DNA is, you're part of, she's got DNA from every man who's ever skeeted in her ever. You think your body's going to react well to that? Hell no. So I totally agree with you, Tato and Georgia. Women are absolutely hitting the wall a lot sooner, and it's because they're fucking, they're drinking more, they're doing drugs, they're smoking more, they're just being reckless and loose with their bodies. So yeah, I would say the wall is probably closer to 27, 28 years old here in 2020. Good call, good call. Area code 724. Area code 724. You're on Live at Donovan. Name and town, please.
Hey, what's up, Donovan? It's Pence Out Geese.
Hey, Pep. What's going on, bro?
From Butler.
Yes, sir.
From Butler, PA.
All right.
I don't give a fuck if any of my exes fucking know where I'm at. They all know where I'm at. They come at me. But anyway, coming at you with a comment, a story, and a question.
All right, what you got?
My comment is, yeah, you know that bitch is getting her fucking back blown.
Of course
Fuck
she
out
is.
on
Of course she
you
is.
fucking put that shit.
Right.
You know. Yeah. As soon as you posted, man, they took that fucking that post down. But yeah. Anyway, so story is, man. So me back in the day, I used to live in California.
Okay.
And anybody in Butler who knows me definitely knows who I am now. But I used to live out in California. Met this girl. Turned out to be baby mama. But anyway, so met this girl and decided to I'm darker than blue at this point, man. I'm just like, I'm in love. I love her to death. Anything she do, anything she wants, I'm gonna give it to her. Here's the money. Bought you a cell phone, which back in the day was a big deal. And I got you a cell phone, paid for your service. About 2 months after I did that, she started. I couldn't reach her on the cell phone that I bought.
Wow.
Well, she's taking trips up to Fresno. And lo and behold, she's seeing this dude. I had no idea at the time, but I started looking at the clues. I've seen the clues in the writing on the wall.
Right.
There's letters in her purse from Mi Amor, from this dude that writing thing. I love you and all this shit. And I'm like, what is this? She's like, oh, it's just nothing. And I'm just like, oh, all right, I'm cool.
Right.
But yeah. So anyway, long story short on that, I found that bitch, found that she was cheating, blah, blah, blah.
Of course.
But now that I'm red pill, I find myself, and here's I'm leading into the question now.
Okay.
I find myself really fucking hating blue pill men. I mean, the fucking writing is everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't hide from this red pill truth. Once you take it,
you can't spit it back out, man.
Everything just comes fucking crystal clear.
Yep.
Everything's crystal clear.
Yep.
So this guy's saying this, that guy's saying that guy's doing this. You see this girl reacting to that because you know what's going on. And, I see this blue pill, this weakness, and I just get so fucking pissed off at it, man. Now, my question is this. Have you ever fucking dealt with this anger? And if you did, how did you navigate this shit? And that's it, man. That's all I got. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, man.
Love the show.
Appreciate it. Listen, Pimped Out Geese asked a very good question. Yes, blue pill hate is real. That comes a little bit later on in your red pill development when you are now congruent with the red pill. It is absolutely real. The way I deal with it is I just make sure that I am never around guys who are blue pill, right? Listen, I know plenty of guys who are purple pill. I know plenty of guys who are red pill. I do not hang around men who are blue pill because what ends up happening, the reason why you get pissed off at guys who are blue pill is because they see the writing on the wall, right? But they choose to stick their heads in the sand. Also, you get pissed off at blue pill guys because they try to clown you in front of other people, in front of other girls to make themselves look good. There's nothing more dangerous, nothing more enraging to red pill men than blue pill men. This is why if you are red pill aware, you need to stay away from men who are not red pill aware. If you're not red pill aware, you are blue pill. Okay? If you're red pill aware, you're either red pill or purple pill, but dude, you absolutely cannot hang around men who are not red pill aware. It should never happen. Area code 917, you're on live with Donovan. Give me your name and location.
Hey, Donovan, this is Slick from New York. How are you?
Slick in New York, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Hey, so I wanted to touch base with you as something you said in your podcast yesterday that actually caught my attention. Right at the end, you were talking about if the girl ever, cheated on you, it wouldn't really affect you. And
she cheated on me with another woman? Yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of wanted to offer my thoughts, and I'm also, very red pill because I'm in the same situation. I've been living with my girlfriend now for 3 years, dating 4 years. And it's been a really good relationship. I came into this relationship being red pill, and applying firsthand what I had learned into that relationship. So it's been a very good relationship because I initiated it. With what I demanded and what I needed for myself.
Good.
She's adhering to that, and it's been excellent. I mean, she challenges it because she does the shit testing, right? But
she's a
I
woman.
don't deal with shit testing, and I just let her know, and she laughs, and that's how I know that she's shit
Right.
But just to get to the point, right? I'm in the same position as you were, and that's why it resonated with me yesterday to get on your podcast today, kind of talk about it, because for me, I feel the same way. If my girl ever cheated on me, I wouldn't do the W's, right? Who, what, where, why, right? I wouldn't ask those questions. And I think that comes from a fundamental basis. It says, I don't love her the way she loves me, right? I can't love the way she loves, because if I do put myself in that position, she's not going to respect me. And she's going to lose what it is that I am in her head.
Bingo.
Which comes back to
good.
that ownership, right? For me, right? I love myself more than I love her, right? So in order for me to be able to be loved by her, I have to continue being who I am. That's the first step. And then in the second step, I know that I don't own her body, right? And that's something that guys tend to, latch onto, like ownership of her body, right? For me, it's more ownership of her mind.
Yes.
And being able to, be able to tell her, hey, this is what I need. And if she can't fall into line, for me, it's more like, all right, well, then you do what you have to do. There's the door. I need these things for myself. It's just kind of like the way you say, like, I need a woman that can cook and clean.
That's right.
Same thing. I have certain things that I need to have, done. And the reason that I can just kind of let her go, it's because I don't, and maybe you can resonate, right? The reason that you feel like if your girl cheated on you, it's because you don't have that same attachment, or you don't have that you don't feel like you own her body. You're really chasing her mind and making sure that ducks are lined.
No, listen, I agree with you 100%, man. And I think this just comes from having been cheated on, dude, dozens of times that I know of. Dude, I've been cheated on so many times I can't even count. And if something happens to you enough, you really do become desensitized to it. Now, if I were to find out that another guy fucked Devin on my watch, I'm not going to sit here and say that it wouldn't hurt. I'm not going to sit here and say that there wouldn't be some pain. But I wouldn't break down and cry and be just, devastated. I'd be like, all right, well, damn, that sucks. On to the next broad. In terms of her, and again, in terms of her cheating on me with another woman, it's not really cheating if there's no penetration. Oh, well, she used the strap-on still. Strap-on, okay, so a girl fucked you with a strap-on, that's really not, I don't know, maybe it's a mental block with me, but I totally agree. I think the reason why I'm of the mind, and this can't really, very few people are like this, Slick, and if they're not, it's really hard to explain if you know somebody doesn't have that mindset. When a woman cheats, it hurts, but the more you experience this stuff, the less it hurts, man. And we're not really after, and just like I said earlier, dude, I could get girls with bodies like Devin and faces prettier than hers. I can get that anytime I want. So if somebody happens to have that, for a time, all right, it sucks, but okay, you didn't really, okay, whatever, I'm going to dump her, this and that and the other. But if I find out that she stayed with him for a week, she cooked and cleaned and improved his life, now that is where the rage would come in. Now, of course, that's a hypothetical situation, but it's just like you said. It's just sex. Like, that's what it is to me, right? Cheating is cheating, but what it comes down to, I'm not really trying to own a woman's body. I don't own Devin's body. probably hundreds of men have owned Devin's body. I'm never going to own her body, but I'm definitely going to own her mind, and that's really what it's about in the end. I totally agree. Thanks for the call, Slick. Very, very good call. Last call of the day. Area code 501. Area code 501, you're on live with Donovan. What is your name and town? Area code 501, going once?
Hello, Donovan?
Yes, sir.
Donovan?
Yes.
Hey, what's going on? I can't believe I got on with Donovan Goddale Sharp. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, same old, man. I was calling to let you know, man. I picked up on your show probably about 6 months ago or so, something like that. I went through a divorce about a year and a half ago, and of course I went through all of the malaise of, you know, feeling sad, wondering what I did wrong, and then all of a sudden one day, something just clicked in my mind. It's like it had nothing to do with you. It had everything to do with her.
Right.
And so then I jumped online and I started researching shit or whatever, and I came across your show. And when I listened to your show at first, I was like, man, dude really kind of out there a little bit. You know, I don't subscribe to everything he says. I subscribe to some of it, but not all of it. But then I just started listening to you more and more and more. And I got to say, man, 99.9% of your shit is just totally on point. You know what I mean? It's totally on point. Can't argue with it. And I just wanted to hop on with you and tell you, hey, man, you got a fan for life right here.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, listen, man, it's, you know, I know that I can be an acquired taste at times. You know, I've got a pretty, you know, I'm pretty quick to anger. I've actually done well on my temper. And part of the reason is because I don't allow non-members to chat anymore. That's really it. Every once in a while I get a call. Hey, Donovan, you ever heard of niggerology? Like, that was a fucking joke. That was actually quite funny. He's like, have you ever heard of Black Studies? You know, niggerology? that was fucking hilarious. But no, I don't deal with trolls anymore. And because of that, the show runs a lot smoother. I don't blow a head gasket. And I don't lose my cool on the air. Like, dudes will come in here and they'll say all sorts of crazy shit about me. Then when I go off on them, hey, you're being emotional. No, you're not. You're not just gonna come in here and troll me and expect me to just bend over and take it. No, man, I'm gonna bite back. So I finally realized that it's just not worth it dealing with those people. Excellent. So very, very good call. I appreciate him for calling in and shouting me out. Got a couple of super chats here that I need to get to. Merciless 6 with the $10 super chat says, paying my offering as support. In your opinion, what age do women put, quote, love and happiness back on the burner and look to settle down with men with resources? When they figure out that they are no longer attractive, when they are no longer as attractive to the men they used to be attracted to or attracted to, that's when they start looking for a provider. If a woman thinks she has any modicum of sexual market value, dude, she is going to squeeze every ounce of her prime she can. If a woman had 100 years of prime fertility and beauty, prime fertility, youth, and beauty. If a woman could look like she were 20, 21 years old for 100 years, she would be on the cock carousel for no less than 99 years and 364 days and 11 and a half hours, guys. 11 and a half hours. Again, if a woman thinks she can still go out and get easy dick, she's going out to get that. Only when she figures out that the men she used to be attractive to are no longer attracted to her, that's when they start looking for men with resources. Very good question there by Merciless 6. There is no age. There is no age when they hit the wall. And big thanks to Al with the $5 super chat. I'm going to get to his other super chat in a minute. He says, take a good close look around, Donovan. The wall is more like 24 nowadays. These women out here look busted. He's not kidding. He's not kidding. So who knows what the age that women put, lust on the back burner and start valuing relationships and love and all that other feel good shit. They value it when they have to. That's really the answer. I mean, shit, it could be 24, it could be 23. You got bitches hitting the wall at 24, 25 years old. Whenever they realize that they are not as attractive to the men they used to be attractive to, that's when they seek out providers. Falcon Black with the two, looks like €2. No, actually, those are 2 British pounds. The 2 British pound super chat. He says, facts, stop the fucking video games. Big waste of time. Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, tell that to Ollie from Montreal. Ollie from Montreal was, I mean, dude, Ollie from Montreal's like, yeah, but no, man, I don't want to hear, don't fucking, dude, listen, I'm not, I think Ollie called up for a magic pill. He called up for the magic bullet. Give me a crash course. Give me a pill to take to make me a man. Nah, bro, like, you need to, listen, becoming a man is really more about refraining from useless indulgences than it really, well, you have to be proactive, yes, but you really do have to give up a lot of things to improve yourself. Porn and video games. If you smoke, if you're a fucking pothead, dude, throw all that shit away, detox for 6 months, get off the grid. That's the best I can do in that regard. Good question. Good question there. L with another $2 super chat says, working under a woman is a lose-lose. Never do it. Yeah, right. If you don't have to. Colonel Sanders the 16th. With the $2 super chat says, I'm also working under a woman, mismanaged as hell. Yeah, women are not suited to be leaders, guys. No matter how many of them say, "Oh, I'm a boss bitch," and I'm this and that, and blah 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 blah. No. Women are not cut out to lead. Working for women it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. My thanks to my super chatters: State of Mike, Ace and Spades, NY Kia 31, Zachariah Williams, Osama Abdi, looks like Abdu, NY Kia 31, Big Brandon, Juanito Main, Nicholas Skeel, Sheldon Ross, Ted Randolph, Cuban Libertarian, Freelance Ronin, Merciless 6, Al, Falcon Black, and Colonel Sanders the 16th. Thank you to all of my super chatters. Thanks to my callers, Greg in New Jersey, Mike in Dallas, Phineas in Dallas / Waxahachie, Jim in Delaware, or Jin in Delaware. I think he said Jin. Lurker the Berserker, Guy with the Crazy X, Brian in New York, Matt in Chicago, Charles in Hydesville, Mike in Philly, Bruce in North Carolina, Tom in Florida, Ollie in Montreal, Tato in Georgia, Pimped Out Geese, who's responsible for today's topic, and of course Slick in New York. I appreciate you all. Pardon me. I appreciate you all. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, there we are. I appreciate you all coming in and supporting the show. Listen, really good phone calls. You guys asked me a lot of really good questions. You guys really made me think. That's gonna do it for this edition of TSR Live. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.